Well, hello. Mailman here, ready to talk about a bunch of books that I stole, or was given, or bought, or just, whatever. All right, guys, I know it's been a minute, and I have been collecting and being sent plenty of books from you guys, which I really appreciate. So I got a stack here, and we're going to get into it in no particular order. All right? So, Badoosh. Book number one, and this is kind of serendipitous, guys. I do not know. This one was sent to me by, I'm assuming a subscriber. I think I do know who this came from, but there was no note. So feel free to comment down there in the comments if you're the one that sent it to me. But without knowing, I'm not gonna just assume too much. Either way, like I said, this is serendipitous for the channel, considering we are going to be getting into it rather soon. Actually, I did have it on my Kindle. I'm glad now that I actually have a physical copy. For those that don't know, Heroes Die is by Matthew Stover, who wrote one of my favorite Star Wars novels, Traitor, which is dark and dastardly for Star Wars. And so, yes, he wrote Heroes Die. And if you don't know, this thing is on most grimdark top 10 lists, out there on the internet. And the funny thing is that it actually predates like the whole grimdark days. I think it was published in like 98, 99, something like that. Either way, Heroes Die is book number one in the Acts of Cain series, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's supposed to be very dark, very grimdark, and very good. So, I'm super stoked about this. Thank you for whoever sent it. Next up is another book that was sent to me, and this was another book I was planning on reading. I had it on my Kindle, and that is, boom, The Vanguards of Sion by Michael Thom. I think it's Michael Thom. It could be Michael Tom. Michael, if you're out there, let me know if I got it wrong. Anyway, Michael is actually a fellow tattoo artist like myself. So, for one, awesome, right? But two, he wrote a fantasy book. Actually, I think he's got another one out as well. But this actually had caught my eye by the description. Now, I've never read Dragonlance, but several of these reviews I saw for this were like, oh, it's like Dragonlance on steroids. And I've also seen that some people are kind of calling it like a grimdark or a dark fantasy epic style of tale. It's not rather chunky or anything like that, so it also seems like it's something perfect for this channel for you guys out there that are slow and struggling. Thank you, Michael, for sending me this, and also, guys, we're probably going to be jumping into it sometime here, probably before summer really kicks off. Next up, we got something that's just been a long time coming for this channel. When I first started, I covered Claymore, the manga series. I did like a spoiler-free review of the overall series, and I knew that I was going to eventually be making my trip into Berserk. That's right, guys. So if you, I don't know if you can see that, but if you got eyes in your head, you're probably thinking, where's volume 1? And that's a good question. I would like to know where Volume 1 is, too. For all the joking I do about stealing things off of mail trucks or stuff getting lost in the mail, well, guess what? Wow. Volume 1 got stolen or lost in the mail. So don't fear. I have these, and then I just went out and I bought Volume 1 on my Kindle, so I will be able to start this journey. I know that I asked you guys before if you wanted spoiler-free or spoilers, and I know that the majority said spoilers, so that's the route I'm going to take. For people that are wanting a spoiler-free review, just know after I read several of them, I will do kind of like a collective spoiler-free review as well. So just kind of know, man, it takes a lot for me to pump out videos, guys, so I'll do what I can, but this journey is going to be starting rather soon, and I might even be doing it kind of vlog style, where we're just, kind of experiencing the journey as I go through it, maybe. I'm not totally sure how I'm going to nail that all down, but just know, bam, Berserk is back in town. Now, also, before I get into the next book, speaking of, ironically, getting my shit stolen or lost in the mail, I also want to throw a huge shout out to my buddy Evan. Evan has been a great support to the channel, and he has sent me plenty of books already, but he had just sent me a load of books, guys, and they got lost. slash stolen in the mail, and we're pretty sure never going to see those books. And, just because I didn't get them doesn't mean I don't appreciate the effort, Evan. I'm just, man, you are a kick-ass, and you have done me so many favors here, down at fucking Slowly Read, man. I mean, like, the amount of money you have saved me through sending me books is phenomenal. And I do want to mention, though, one of the books that he was sending me, guys, is one that you've all asked me quite a bit about, and that was the first book in Richard Nell's Grimdark series. I think is it Kings of Ash or Ash and Sand? Something like that, guys. This is a book that I'm really going to be getting into. I was planning on getting into it as soon as it came in the mail, but obviously, things have been prolonged. But one way or the other, we're going to pick up that book. We're going to get it read. We'll get it reviewed. And either way, thank you, Evan, for being such a great support to the channel. Next up, we got BAM! The Night Watch by Sergei Lukyanenko. Man, I know I butchered that one. But either way, guys, this is a book. It's actually a series of books. I saw the movie years ago, and it really blew me away. It was a Russian film, so in itself, it was different. It had a different feel to it, but it's also just strange and bonkers, and it's really, magic with good versus evil and all that good stuff. But our main character, Anton, he is a good guy, but he's, a little rough around the edges, like some, of our favorite anti-heroes. Though I wouldn't say Anton is an anti-hero. He very much works within the light. But, man, yeah, I'm really interested in cracking into this book and this series because of how much enjoyment I got out of the films. We, as readers, usually would say that, 9 times out of 10, the book is better than the movie. So I have actually read a little bit of this a while ago. I kind of DNF'd it, just not because I wasn't liking it. It was just a lot of stuff happening. I never got back to it. So I'm glad to finally pick it back up, have it on deck, and hopefully get it read this year and start the series. Next up is a book that was given to us by Nico from Nico's Book Reviews. I would encourage you guys to go check out his channel, especially if you're into fantasy. I think that he definitely dives deeper than surface level. I really dig his videos, and yeah, man, he's a cool guy. And thanks for the book, Nico. So guys, this is In the Eye of Heaven by David Keck, and I have no idea what this is about, and I'm not really trying to dig too deep. I'm planning on trying to enter this one blind as a bat, sirs and madams. So yeah, anyway, guys, don't know enough about this, but I will say thank you, Nico, for taking the time to send us something. It's not too chunky, guys, so I think it's something we hopefully will be able to devour this year and get our opinion out there, huh? Next up, we got a very anticipated read for this year, and that is The Girl in the Mountain by Mark Lawrence. So guys, last year, pretty early into my channel's existence, I covered A Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. That's book 1 of Books of Ice. And honestly, guys, I know it gets a lot of crap from some of his previous readers that are like, oh, it's kind of YA or childish or whatnot. My opinion, yes, there are some childish elements, but the fact that Mark Lawrence is bringing you a world-building style that is very intelligent and deep, and, I mean, I don't see any kids understanding the complexities of what he's throwing at you at all. On top of that, he still finds a way to find his opportunity to bring a dark, visceral violence to his story at times as well. Yes, it's not slathered in blood and guts, but geez, man, it's still a fun ride, and I have to admit, Lawrence in this series, or this trilogy, from what I've read, has really outdone himself as far as building tension. There is, out of all his books, there's not one that, like, the Girl in the Stars was so riveting. Like, it really just brought you in, and he like cliffhangered you at every corner. It was really hard to put the book down, so boom, anticipated read, The Girl in the Mountain. Next up is a book connected to a series you've recently just heard me squawking about. Ooh, The House of Sacrifice by Anna Smith Spark. So this is book number 3 in the Empires of Dust trilogy, and guys, I am bought and sold, man. I am all in. Anna Smith Spark has got a chunk of my black heart, and I am proud to call her Queen of Grimdark, guys. I had these books on my Kindle. After finishing book 2, The Tower and the Living and Dying, I said, screw it. I have got to have these in hardcover. I just got to. This is one of those series that, like I said, got a piece of my heart, and I want to just represent it proudly. So boom, the hardbacks are coming in, guys. Book number 3. I'll be getting into this pretty soon. Probably after I finish my Aspect Emperor reads, I'll be finishing off The Empires of Dust. Another series you guys have heard me screaming about is Michael Fletcher's Obsidian Path series. Last year, I read Blackstone Heart, and this year, I was sent an arc of She Dreams in Blood, and it just blew me away even more than Blackstone Heart did. And last year, I screamed about Blackstone Heart. I mean, it was such a good book. So much has happened in this series so far, guys. In just 2 books, we've covered a lot of ground, and so many events have just... Oh, man, it's so good. Anyway, I had the original paperback, and then, you know, I have the arc on my Kindle, but Fletcher started to release some of his books in hardback, and woo-wee, bam, dude, the Blackstone Heart Black Matte Edition. It's as dark as my soul. It's so cool, man. I loved the cover of Blackstone Heart. I mean, I got that in paperback, and you know, I repped it proudly. But now I got this hardback, and this thing is just tough. It's maybe only rivaled by She Dreams in Blood. Oh my God. So if Matte Black wasn't good enough, then Matte Blood will be. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, these are some beautiful ass books. And, you know, this is step 1 and 2 into a void that I just recommend everyone tripping into. The next books I want to talk about really are books that you've been seeing over the past, you know, however long. They've been on display, but I've been waiting to collect all of them. Like the darkest Pokemon ever. Gotta catch 'em all. Anyway, these are, you know, my most anticipated reads of this year, and you guys know what I'm talking about. The Aspect Emperor books by R. Scott Baker. So I had been able to get my hands on the first 2, and, you know, the second one, White Luck Warrior, was a used copy. It had a sticker on it with residue, and it was just, it was a sad sight for such a beautiful book. But I was able to go out there and acquire a nice looking one. You know what I mean? This guy is proud to sit up there. You know what I mean? And that way, the guy with the sticker is the one that I actually got to read and you know, bend all out of shape. And now it looks like shit even more. But either way, guys, boom, The White Luck Warrior by R. Scott Baker. Guys, honestly, Baker's hooks are set, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably one of my favorite Baker books to date so far. We will see going into the next 2, but god damn, this journey is so amazing, and Baker's writing continues to really just hit me in so many different ways, on so many different levels. Just a very powerful prose that brings me, you know, to frustration, to tears, to everything. And it's just beautiful. It's something almost beyond fucking fantasy. And I know I'm sounding a little pretentious, but I just don't give a fuck, because that's how much I love this guy and his writing and his fantasy, and just yes. So boom, White Luck Warrior. I just finished this one, and I was actually supposed to be reading other stuff, guys, but then, you know what? That leads me, boom, into the next book. Bam! The Great Ordeal. I couldn't finish White Luck Warrior and pick up any other book besides The Great Ordeal. But I do want to give a little shout out to Neil, because, man, without Neil, I wouldn't have this book in my hands. And also, with Neil sending me this book, it's much like my Mara's boot in the ass to a commune, and this really got me going and started on the Aspect Emperor series. Because before then, I was just kind of floating, you know, in the water, waiting to acquire the last 2 books. Because if you're out there and you don't know, well, I'm going to inform you. This is a hard motherfucker to get your hands on. Maybe, I don't know if it's just because where I'm at, or if it's a US thing or what, but some of these copies are going for hundreds of dollars, okay? So I was pretty sure I was just going to end up having to go and get it on my Kindle, but no, Neil saved me the trouble. He gave me, oh, the paperback. And now it's proudly displayed on my shelf. Thank you, fucking Neil. And guys, if you're like enjoying my second Apocalypse, content, I think, maybe you can go ahead and throw Neil a shout out too and just be like, hey, thanks, Neil. Because like I said, one of the main reasons I got this shit started and I'm on fire right now is because Neil sent me this book. And then, last but not least, of course, to finish this thing off, guys, bam, the Unholy Consult. So, currently I'm reading The Great Ordeal. The one I know the least about is going to be this book. And, I have no idea what to expect anymore. Every time I expect something from Baker, he really surprises me, you know what I mean? Or, and he can be frustrating with his surprises at times. But I have found a way to really just, God damn, I don't know, just get behind what he's doing here. And one of the things that I dread about this book is really just this thing kind of coming to an end. I've never read anything that I've never wanted to end more than this series. Like this second Apocalypse series in fantasy it's so goddamn good and I hold it so near and dear. I don't ever want it to end, guys. And I know all those Baker Pac-Mans out there, they know what I'm fucking talking about. They have that same feeling. This shit is just next level. Magnifique. Well, all right. That's all the books we got this time. Once again, big shout out to everybody that sent me books, and just, even a shout out to you guys that are watching this. For you guys that support this channel, I cannot, thank you enough. The appreciation is there. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Anyway. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.